Welcome back to Tony's Kitchen. What we're going to do today is a old favourite. We're borrowing from Mary Berry's Baking Bible again, and we're going to make chocolate chip cookies. And it's a very, very simple recipe. We'll need softened butter, so we'll soften that in a minute. We need 375 grams of caster sugar. So that's a lot of sugar. This is not good for the old tummy, but it's a little treat if you've got a different recipe for chocolate chip brownies that might be a little bit healthier. Do comment below. We'll zero that. We want 100 grams of self-raising flour, 75 grams of cocoa powder, chocolate chips, 100 grams, which is exactly what is in there. So let's see how accurate. Okay, close enough. It's 102. So at least they're not cheating us on chocolate chips. Good job. I've got the eggs. Okay, so I'd forgotten to put those out, so you didn't remind us. Okay, so 4 large eggs. We'll have to get some more eggs now. Right, so 4 large eggs. 1. And then we want the softened butter. So we'll put that in a little bowl. One of these one of those. Obviously we're very well prepared. We've got it prepared earlier. Right, while we're getting this ready, we need to preheat the oven to 180. I haven't done chocolate chip cookies in ages. Let's take that off. Put that there. Let's take that off. Oop. It's starting to melt already. Right, so that's 196 grams. It's supposed to be 200 grams. So they're conning us out of... We're 4 grams short on butter. I wonder how heavy this one is. I'm just curious. This is supposed to be 200 as well. And that's 396. So that one is, so if that's 396, then that one is the right weight, isn't it? All right, so we want 275, 250. Okay, I need 265. Even though this is in the, that's 280. 274, 275. Okay, so even though this is in the fridge, I think because it's in the door, it's not. It's already quite soft, but it will need a little bit in the micro. All right, so we will give that about 1 minute medium power, which is probably about 50%. And then once we've Once we've done that, that's ready to go in there and then ready to mix. And I'm going to try this Lodge 12-inch skillet. We'll see how we get on with that. I'll just put some oil on it. We'll see how it goes. Although you can't see how much I put on, I think I put a bit too much oil in because I ended up wiping some out. That's definitely softened butter. I don't know what you can see there, but that's melted butter. Never mind. It said softened, so right, we'll put that under there. Close that down. What's going on? I think it's solid under there, that's why. Yeah. Now I've got half of my mix on the spoon. Let's get that off there. Right, that's looking like that could be nice. That looks very nicely mixed. Okay, let's get that off, and we'll just put that there because we need to get that in there. As we haven't preheated this, it'll be interesting to see whether this sticks, but we will see. Let's try it and see. You know, if we don't try it, it could probably have done with just looking at the little bit of marbling in there. It could probably have done with a little bit more mixing, but again, that's what this channel is about. Keep saying it. It's about experimentation. The average bloke the average bloke at home, are they necessarily going to get it? You know, exactly right. First time. That is quite nice, actually. I think our what's your eggs like? I think our eggs are supposed to be certified safe these days. Lizzie, honestly, once tries to set the other one off. I think you can just about, I didn't check what you can see, but I think you can just about see this. I'll move it closer to that in a minute. So this is a 12-inch Lodge skillet. I'm kind of curious to see how it does, really. Because I did buy a non-stick pan. A 10-inch, 12-inch by 12-inch by 8 or something like that, or something. But if we could get this to work, Then I can send that pan back. And this is going to need 45 minutes at 180. Okay, so we wanted 180. Got it over 180. I did it too much. So that's 200. That's 180. That's the oven. Okay, so we are. I had it on 200. Okay, let's try this and let's see how this goes. Let's open that. Let's take that. Let's put that in there. Close that. Okay, and then we'll set the timer. All right, let's set the timer 40 minutes. All right, so, all right, we've got that set 40 minutes, so we'll see how we get on. All right, well, I'm rather impatient to try this. I took this out of the oven about 20 minutes ago. I don't think half an hour ago. It had risen quite nicely. For some reason, comment below, it's sunk. So I will be interested to know your thoughts onto why it's sunk. It does seem to have not stuck. So that's a good sign. I think what we'll do is we'll cut it. I think we'll try and remove. Actually, I'm probably going to be. Yeah, I can probably get that under there. My problem is I'm really very, very cack-handed. Let's see. Ooh. It probably needed. I think the reason why it sunk, it hasn't stuck. So that's good. I think the reason why it sunk is because I think it needed. Maybe a bit more time. The center is quite moist, but quite delicious. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's probably the exact corner. It probably just needed but it comes out perfectly. It's quite soft. The lodge itself was not preheated, so it probably would have taken some time for the heat to come through. Quite pleased with that generally. It didn't stick. That's probably that's probably the most important thing. It's sweet, but not too sweet. I think we're going to have to let it cool off, and then I'll try and sort out the mess, because basically I think it's just falling apart. We'll just plonk it there. I think it was successful, even though it's a pile. It was successful because we didn't burn it, it didn't stick, and we've learnt next time we will need to give it longer. I think it's going to need like probably, that was 40 minutes. I think it's probably going to need like 50 minutes or something like that. And hopefully next time we'll try it again. Hopefully it won't sink, and hopefully it'll be a little bit better in the middle. I'm going to let this cool down, and then I'll put it into a tray, and then I'll put it into a airtight container, and then I've got some dessert for several days. But generally, I'm actually quite happy with that. It's nice. I just needed a bit longer, that's all.